All right, so that brings us to the 1995-96 men's basketball team. Before I get too far into that, I personally want to thank Amos Moore, who was tremendously helpful because trying to wrangle together the 1995-96 men's basketball team was no easy task. He was instrumental in getting me in contact with players, and when I had a hard time getting a response back, I'd get in touch with Amos, and he would get me the answers I needed. So I want to thank him because he definitely made this make this go a lot smoother. So before I get into the specifics for the team, I want to take a little bit of time to set the stage for where athletics was in 1995 and 96, and the era that this men's basketball team helped usher us into. Between 1995 and 2001, those 6 years were a golden era for Stockton athletics. And here's some of the things that happened. In 1995, in the fall, the women's soccer team went to the Final Four. That spring in 1996, the men's basketball team went to the Final Eight. In 1999, the men's soccer team went to the Final Four. And in 2001, that culminated with the men's soccer team winning the national championship. As far as NCAA tournaments, during that same 6-year period, women's basketball went to 1, volleyball went to 2, men's basketball went to 3, women's soccer went to 4, and the men's soccer team went to 5. So we had, in that 6-year period, 15 teams go to the NCAA tournament. As far as NJAC championships, women's basketball won 1, men's basketball won 2, volleyball won 3, and men's soccer also won 3. So it was an incredible time for Stockton athletics, and the team we're about to induct was instrumental in creating that winning tradition that we needed. So what did the men's basketball team do? They had a 26-4 record, which set a school record for wins that lasted for 13 years. They were ranked as high as number 4 during the season by the NABC. They were the NJAC regular season champs, and in case anybody thought that was a fluke, they were also the NJAC tournament champions. And as been mentioned a couple times tonight, but certainly bears repeating, they advanced to the Elite 8 in the NCAA tournament. So now I want to take just a minute to read you the opening paragraph from an Atlantic City article that came out toward the end of that basketball season. The headline read, "Stockton tops Rowan, rules the NJAC." Score, Stockton 75, Rowan 62. Richard Stockton College, the team with no height, little depth, but loads of heart, completed its remarkable season Saturday night by stunning mighty Rowan in the NJAC men's basketball championship game. And I think that really sums up, for me, a lot of Jerry's teams. The teams that were good always had a lot of heart, and all of our teams at Stockton that have been good have rarely been the most talented, but always are teams that have a whole lot of heart and integrity. That season, Coach Matthew won his 200th game, and remarkably, he would go on to win more than 400 more before he hung up his white shoes. For me, one of the things that I think has been very important was the consistency of Coach Matthews' assistant coaching staff. I always felt that was a key to the team's success. His assistant coaches were loyal, they were dedicated, and when they were here, they stayed here for a long period of time. At that time, the assistant coaching staff was made up of Chris Crowley, Bob Hutchings. Hutch is still an assistant coach with our men's basketball team now, and also Kevin Brooks. So at this time, I'd like to bring Kevin Brooks up to speak on behalf of the coaching staff.
Good evening, everybody. We're so old, we were still taking pictures in black and white. So it's been a long time. First of all, congratulations to all the inductees tonight. You truly earned it. You are an inspiration to the Stockton athletic community, and we're all very proud of you guys. So congratulations. First, let me start out by giving honor to God, and then I would like to thank a few people. First of all, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee. I'd like to thank them for this incredible honor. It is truly an honor to be up here with these guys. I'd like to thank President Kesselman. I've known President Kesselman for a long time, and I just hope I've made you proud over the years. And then I want to thank the athletic department, Mr. Kevin McHugh, John Heck, Jeff Haynes, Linda Yost, Chris Roman, Mrs. Brooke Roman, and all the coaches here at Stockton who have supported us over the years and who have helped us out. And then I want to thank the other people in the athletic department, people like Christian Allen, Jimmy Guatney, Val Julian, Tony Petrelli, all righty, Debbie Joseph, and Cheryl Robinson, and my great friend Tony Bethel. Thank you for all your support over the years as well. So, 1995-96 men's basketball. What a year, as they've said already. We have a few other people, though, that I've got to say thank you to with that team. Number one, Chris Crowley. Chris Crowley was the gentleman who came to me and asked me would I like to help out the program while Coach Matthews took a year off for a sabbatical. He took a year off from basketball to go coach high school basketball for the freshman team at Rumson Fairhaven. I don't know who does that. I don't know. But I want to thank you, Chris. You started my career. And then I want to thank somebody who's not here, but you've heard his name throughout the evening, G. Larry James. Well, G. Larry James was an inspiration to me, and let me just say, as a student athlete here at Stockton, I did not impress him very much. I rightly earned that label. I think I spent more time in the athletics section than the academic section a few years, and I paid the price. But I learned a valuable lesson. President Kesselman, Mr. James, Dean Moffett at the time, I learned that Stockton was for real, and I had to go to class. I couldn't just count on playing basketball. And you could see me in the G-Wing gym more times than you probably would see me walking through the classrooms. But I want to thank you for sticking with me and allowing me to be here a part of this opportunity. So then, I just want to talk about these guys, because it's not about me, it's about these guys. This team was so very special to me. This was my second year coaching here, and if you see that picture, man, I was big. God, I can't even close my coat. But believe it or not, I had just got finished playing basketball. I was a professional basketball player. You wouldn't know that. But this was my second year here. And I have a special bond with these guys, but two guys in particular, because we come from the same hometown. We come from the same basketball factory of Atlantic City High School. Carl Cochran and Marty Small. And I got to know these two young men well before they even thought about coming to Stockton College. I was the program director of the Boys and Girls Club when I was a student here at Stockton, and Marty and Carl were members. And Carl was a nice kid, man. Never give you any problems, no trouble at all. Marty, Marty, if you know Marty, if you were here 2 years ago for his induction, oh my God, we were here for an hour. But Marty just had an opinion, and he had to speak his voice. But sometimes it just didn't come out too good. So I had to kick Marty out of the club one day. And I didn't just kick him out. I took him home to his mother. And I said to him, you know what? This is going to stop. But when I saw who his mother was, we had gone to school together. When I saw who his auntie was, we had grown up together, I knew that I would never have another problem discipline-wise from Marty. But I would learn to eat those words. I'll get back to that in a moment. All righty? Over the time, we've had a bunch of guys that were just that good. And as you can see, not a lot of size, not a lot of strength, but they had heart. They had a whole lot of heart. But this team was more about Marty and Carl. These guys worked together. This team has something special that you didn't see coming. We started the year with high hopes, but we were just not sure of what we were doing as a team. Got to put these on now, guys. This was especially difficult because we had just come off the season where Coach Matthews was on sabbatical, but he was coaching the freshman team, as I said. We could have won the ECAC championship the year that Coach Matthews was off, but something happened in the championship game. Now, I can't say it was any one particular person's fault. I can't say that it was Marty Small's fault, but I will say that Marty did not play in the championship game for one half because of discipline reasons. The day before the game, Marty gave Coach Hutch and Coach Crowley and I such a problem that we decided he was going to sit that day for a half. Needless to say, we got trounced in the championship game up at Kean University. We got trounced before we even came out the locker room. Their coach was Mike Gatley. He was yelling at those guys before warm-up started. I knew we were going to be in trouble. I had one young man come up to me after the game and say, "Coach, so was it really necessary to punish Marty today?" I said, "Yeah." Because if we didn't punish him today, tomorrow he would do the same thing in a worse position. He would not have learned. And you know what? I still think we did the right thing for him. But that was that team. We had other guys on that team. We had people like Big Rack. Coach Hutch called Big Rack Big Dog. He was a young man, and we thought he was getting better. He was maturing as a player, so he was boosting our front line. As you can see, our front line wasn't that big. But Big Rack, he was a part of that, and he did a great job. Then we had other guys on the team that were just terrific players. We had Eric Magazine. Eric Magazine, the Energizer Bunny. That kid would run all over the place. He was our point guard. He was the hardest defender you would ever want to see. And I credit Eric Magazine, and Coach Matthews will vouch for this. He made a play, one of the best plays in Stockton basketball history, and to this day we talk about this. And when you think about the best play of a game, you think about the buzzer beater. You think about the last second shots. This wasn't that kind of a play. We were in Jersey City, and we needed a win. And we needed the ball, and we were down. Eric and the opponent, ran down 3/4 of the floor. The Jersey City kid kept running, and Eric dove on the floor for the loose ball. He got that loose ball, and that turned our season around. That kind of put us in the direction to go to where we won the conference championship. That's the kind of player he was. We also had Amos Moore, the godfather of the team. Amos was the freshman, but everybody went to Amos for advice. Everybody went to Amos when things were going bad. When Coach Matthews was mad at us, they go to Amos. He was that kind of guy. Calm voice. People just knew that he was okay. Then we had Everett Spahn. Everett, another kid. He didn't know he was on the court sometimes. He was so quiet. You try to get kids to talk, screen left, back door. He was quiet, but he was a heck of a player. And then we had kids like Steve Gibson, Jeff Kiesel. Jeff Kiesel was a soccer player. We just brought him into the team. He was 6'7". We needed size. So he came. Didn't play much, but he came. But those two young men in practice every day, they pushed our guys. They made them work. They helped us get better. And that's what made that team such a great team. And when you look at that team, again, I was the biggest guy on the team. Teams we played, like Rowan University. Rowan had a 6'8" Division I transfer who we had here in the locker room as our guy. The day classes started, Coach Matthews calls me and says, "He's in Rowan now." Just left. So these guys really earned it. Towards the end of the first semester, it became more apparent that we were going to add another player who could come take us over the top, and he did. Donnie Polk showed up, and let me tell you, this young man could shoot the ball. He would shoot the ball from where people pay to sit. He would shoot the ball from so far out that I was having agita. What are you doing? But he could play. And when he came to the gym, everyone knew that we had good balance. Then we had another young man who was so frail, and you see him in the picture up here, number 15. He was so frail and fragile looking, I didn't think he could pick himself off the floor if he fell. But Umar Williams was one of the toughest defenders we had. He would play the team's best opponent. He would play them and drive them crazy. We knew that with Umar, he would win his matchup, and that helped us win games. So these guys worked hard together. And then we had Marty. Marty, in all seriousness, it has been a distinct honor and pleasure to know you and Carl at the Boys Club, but also to coach you here. But then I got to tell this story. You know, things were going well. We were playing hard, playing together. Marty was behaving. Marty was working hard. Marty was a leader. So, coaches got together. We said, you know what? I think it's time to elevate Marty to captain status. So we did that. We pulled him in, and we elevated him to captain. What a proud moment. He was now the captain of his college basketball team. He had come full circle. So, as you all know, sometimes things come, and things go. And that's what happened with Marty. We had a game on a Friday night. Saturday, Coach Crowley and Coach Matthews went out to scout our next opponent. So Coach Hutch and I had practice. And, the guys wanted a light practice. They wanted to, go easy. And no, I'm a second-year coach. I want to kill you guys. We ran hard, we worked hard, and we worked our butts off. But there was just one problem. Can you guess who it was? Marty didn't like the fact that we were going hard after a game. So he had some words for Coach Hutch and I. So I escorted Marty out into the hallway over in G-Wing, and we had a conversation. And as you heard Will Turner just describe to you, running, by the time Marty and I came back in the gym, he was running until the next day, okay? So I get home, and Coach Matthews calls and says, how was practice? Oh, practice was great. We worked hard. Everybody played well. No one got hurt. You're always worried about people getting hurt. I said we had one problem, Marty. Marty had some words for us, Coach, and, didn't go well, so I had to make him run. I almost kicked him out of practice, I said, but I didn't. So he ran. My goodness, if you know Coach Matthews, that didn't go over well. Next thing I hear is, he acted like what? He did what? We just made him a captain, and he did what? And I'm being nice. I can't say the things that he was saying. I felt so bad for Marty. I was like, oh, my God, he's going to get killed tomorrow. So we go to practice the next day, and, we go in the locker room. For about 20 minutes, I'm listening to Coach Matthews yell at Marty. What I remember about that conversation was that it was not a conversation. The words started something like, this is not a conversation, you just listen. And I think the conversation ended something like, you are a captain, you were a captain. Today the Lord has giveth, and the Lord has taketh away. That was the end of Marty's captaincy. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. But I will say this. That motivated Marty to be stronger, to be better, to be a better teammate. I don't think we ever had another problem from Marty ever again. It's all about the maturation process. I can certainly speak to that. Marty, Carl, Umal, Emag, Everett, Jeff, and Steve, and the guys that are not here, you guys were great, and it's been an honor and a pleasure. You richly deserve this. I want to thank also my best friend in the world, Coach Hutchinson. He's blue. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Old School. If you have, you remember Blue. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy. Last but not least, we had a kid that is a Division III All-American. He is Stockton's all-time leading scorer. He is the best player that Stockton University has seen. On his way to becoming an All-American, he led this team. And we had guys like Donnie Polk, like I said, could shoot the ball from anywhere, from the parking lot. But much like most good players, we want the ball a little bit more. I can remember Marty Small saying to Coach Matthews, Coach, I need more touches. I need more touches. Marty and Coach Matthews and I will walk over to the backboard. See that thing, Marty? Go get the ball. There's your touches. All right, get on the glass. But even Donnie Polk said one day, Coach, I need more touches. I need more shots. Coach Matthews and I looked at each other and said, well, as soon as Carl passes you the ball back, you can have all the shots you want. We knew that that ball was not coming back from Carl's hands. He was shooting it. But that was this team. That was these guys. And I know I got to wrap this up, but I just want to say how important it is of the lessons that you've learned and the things that we were trying to teach you guys. And I look at you now, you're all successful. You come back to Stockton. You share in your victories. You share in everything. And I'm just so proud of you all. Coach Matthews is proud of you guys. Coach Hutchison, Coach Crowley. We're all very proud of you guys. No one can take this away. No one at all. Be proud of what you're doing and continue your success, for you are Stockton Ospreys. All righty.